All right, welcome back, everyone. I apologize. This live was supposed to be done earlier, and then everything came up, so we're doing this live a little bit late, but we're still doing it. I am really excited. You guys know that I love having different curriculum creators come on here and showing you the different options you have, whether it be a classroom like Koala Go or Fun Class or ClassIn or Zoom or whatever, or whether it be curriculum. So today we're having Stephanie from Blue Sky Education come on, and she's been on here before to talk about her her school, I guess. But today we're going to have her come on, and she's showing us her new curriculum. So this is brand new too. It's like brand new. I saw it and I was like, oh, we should talk about it because it looks really good. All right.
Yeah,
So
we just launched late last week. I've been working on this for the last couple of months, and really the reason why I built this system is from real life classroom frustration, online teacher world classroom frustration. I do teach through my company, Blue Sky Education, every day, and I have several students who are in that emergent reader category. And we couldn't find quality materials that the kids really liked to practice skills with. So I sat down and I brainstormed and I thought, let's just build this. Let's just build this from scratch, and we're going to start and we're going to see what happens. And so I was just really kind of tired of piecing together things from TPT or Etsy or even like Epic Books, just trying to find something decent that could maybe get these little humans excited about reading.
So is this ELA or ESL and ELA?
It's both. It's
Okay.
both.
Okay.
And it's completely anchored in the science of reading, which is kind of the new buzzword right now, but a lot of states have really focused their ELA instruction around science of reading. And I'm in Kansas, and even to renew your teaching license in the next 5 years, all teachers in Kansas have to go through science of reading training and retake a praxis-like exam.
Oh,
To
wow.
show
Okay.
that they have
Okay.
the knowledge to teach these science of reading skills. So at this point, if you don't know what science of reading is, you're exactly where I was 10 weeks ago, because we're not living that world like classroom brick and mortar teachers are. So the science of reading is research-based guidance on how the brain learns to read step by step. And there's actually a whole lot of new research coming out about why this is incredibly important for our ELL learners. And the principles behind science of reading matter even more because they're not just learning to decode, they're learning to these English language learners are learning to make meaning in a new language. So I sat down, I did my research, went through a couple of mini trainings just to kind of get myself up to speed, and decided that this was best practice to begin with. And a lot of the things that we do anyway with our young learners are already grounded in the science of reading. The science of reading just builds on that. So it's
Doesn't
just
science of reading that doesn't take everything phonetically the way that we like it does it differently, right?
not necessarily. Not necessarily. The key component behind it is to introduce letter sounds in small chunks so that you can start to build those words right away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they treat high frequency words. The science of reading treats high frequency words different, and they're no longer called high frequency words. They're called heart words in a lot of emergent curriculums and philosophies around the science of reading, meaning you have to know these words by heart. And they're not decodable at all. You can't sit down and make the sounds and get to the word.
Okay.
So when I was building Ollie Stellar Readers, I decided that we were going to follow that guiding principle, basically. And each level of these decodable books, and right now level 1 is the only level that's been released. But there will be 5 levels when we're done. And we started with simple vowel sounds.
Okay.
And
So your level ones are for like your very, very beginner. So like your preschoolers or your like first day of kindergarten or earlier, right? Okay.
right, or
Like
your older ELL students who are just starting to make those connections between letters and sounds and meaning.
okay. And
Okay.
then when you get finished, level 5 is going to be geared towards who? Like this
Level,
kind of have like a basis of
yeah,
like who.
yeah. So we start in level 1 with the early skills, early pre-K, kindergarten skills, and then really the last phonics we cover in level 5 is going to be for that late first grade, early second grade, or
Okay.
even older for kids who need that strategic intervention or support with those sounds. So it's going to build through the vowel sounds, the consonant digraphs, the vowel pairs, the CVCC words, I mean, everything. It's going to go through long vowels, and I'm trying to remember all of the things. Teacher
Okay.
brain.
So this is like a that's okay. So this is like a very basic. So like your sounds is level 1, and then you go to like CVC words, and then CVCC words, and CCVC words like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those consonant digraphs. I think the last, oh, here, I just pulled it up. The last skills we cover are diphthongs, complex endings, 2-syllable words, soft C and G, vowel teams, R controlled vowels. All of those will be in levels 4 and 5.
Okay. Okay. So this would be if you were teaching ELA students that are on track, so like like
Right.
ELA students that are following the like American standards of education, it would be like preschool to like end of first grade.
Yeah, maybe even a little. It depends on, you have to think about your state's standards and what they've adopted. I do think they do phase out phonics mostly by second grade in most states, but there
Okay,
are still going to be those kiddos who end up in reading intervention groups
right.
or working with reading strategists who need these skills still in second grade.
Right, right. And then for your ESL students, your ELL students, that there's no putting an age to it because it's
Right,
all like new to them. They could be 12 years old and starting something like this.
right.
Would you, knowing the curriculum, would you use this for a 12-year-old who was starting?
I think it would depend on your 12-year-old. That's
Okay.
a really great question. I think you would really have to say, okay, because the illustrations we can, I'm prepared to share and show
Okay.
a few of the books, but um, the illustrations are fun. They're mostly animal based or child based. And if they're just really into it for the reading portion of it, and they can kind of look past some of the illustrations being a little bit on the geared towards the younger kids, I think that they're still effective. The system will still be effective.
I've taken Chinese lessons that were geared towards little kids. So I mean, I guess like
Right. And as
as
long as you don't take yourself too seriously when you're teaching, and I don't know an ESL teacher who does online take themselves too seriously, you have to be willing to roll with it and just know your kids and know your goals for that kid and talk to them about it.
Okay, well, why don't you show us what you've got? Show us
Sure.
what things is
Sure.
because there's more to it than just books, right?
Correct. Correct. This is a full system. It's built for teachers, and it's flexible enough to be used brick and mortar or online, but it's also geared towards families and home learning. So even if your kiddo is in first grade and they're really struggling with these reading concepts, you can take this home and use it. And we've built a grown-up guide, we call it, because I want to acknowledge that it's not always mom and dad reading with kids. There's grandmas and grandpas, there's aunts and uncles, different people in kiddos' lives,
I like that.
helping them learn to read. So it's a grown-up guide, and it takes grown-ups through all of the terminology that we take for granted. Decodables. What is a decodable? You know, it explains heart words. And then we did break out away from heart words a little bit, and we did include a words to know section in each book. And those are decodable words that they are going to see over and over and over again that were historically labeled as high frequency words.
Okay.
So that grown-up guide teaches parents how to put their teacher hat on without needing that teaching degree or that teaching experience.
Okay.
So use this strategy, you know, to kind of switch things up, you know, echo reading, popcorn reading, all of the things that we do, you know, kind of without even really thinking about it. So I'm really proud of that grown-up guide because I feel like it definitely teaches kiddos or parents, grown-ups with children who are learning to read exactly what it is that they need to know.
Yeah, especially
when they're working with kiddos who are learning to read.
Yeah, especially for ESL learners, because like for me, when I'm teaching, I can take a lot of the things that I learned in school. I mean, I have a degree as well, but I can take all the things that I learned in school from when I was a kid, and I can be like, oh, well, wait, we did this. I'm going to put this in my class. Someone that learned a completely different language might not have that same history of how they do things, especially if they're from a country like China, where a lot of it is, you know, repetition and reciting things.
Yeah,
that is really helpful. All right, do you know how to share?
I do, but I do want to, while you mentioned our Chinese families, currently right now, I am working on a section of our website that is going to give parents everything they need in Chinese.
Oh, I love it.
The grown-up guide is in Chinese, the printing instructions, because the original form of these books the intended use is to print them. I have one right here. So it's printed and set up in such a way, it's backwards, but you get the picture, where all you have to do is print and fold, print and fold.
Okay.
So you can have a physical copy of a book. Parents can print the book so their kiddos have a physical copy, but there's also digital. So let's look
you
at.
You can share the books. Yeah. Are you allowed to share the books with your parents?
Yes. Okay. The major level teacher bundle that we've got priced out on the website comes with 30 licenses.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
You can share with up to 30 parents, or you can encourage them to come to the website and purchase the materials so they can have them in Chinese and they can use them at home, or whatever works best for your situation. So okay. This is a digital file of the very first book. Let's see if I got that. Is it Sharon?
Yep.
Okay. So each book starts out with the same cover of the book, Sam and the Mat, short A sound. The inside cover gives you the heart words and the words to know. The stars indicate what level we're on. This is a level 1 book, so one star is highlighted here. One of the main principles of science of reading is giving kids words in small chunks. So we're really mindful about how many words we're introducing and recycling in each book. So this is Sam. He is an orange tabby based on my daughter's orange tabby. Because of course we had to include what?
Right.
Yes, Sam.
Sam, is it your daughter's orange tabby?
No, but we had to make him decodable. So you'll notice that every word is either a decodable word or a heart word. And each sentence is thought out very carefully and very purposefully. We're going to tell a story more through the illustrations and the pictures than we are with the words that are being presented in the story. So like, just for example, I don't know, can I annotate on this?
No.
Okay. So if you look at the cat is on a mat, the is a heart word. Cat is decodable. Is a heart word because is, it's not is, it's is when you say it. On is decodable. We claimed as a heart word because I don't like it when
Yeah.
kids say ah or a. There's a certain level in which conversationally you might say a, but typically when we're speaking, we say It's the schwa sound, So, and Matt is fully decodable. Now, the series does assume that kiddos have had access to some phonics training beforehand, just single sounds, individual sounds. And we repeat the same words over and over in the book so that they get them in a different order or they get them in a different way. They see them in a new light. Now, I will say that tan in this one with your ELLs, you might have to have a visual aid to represent tan. I did have to do that with one of my little gals. She was like, tan? I said, oh, it's a color. And we just pulled up the color and we talked about the color and how it matched the mat. So then the man comes in and Sam runs away because he doesn't want to share his mat. 7 lines of text in each of the first 15 books. We will expand on that in level 2, but 7 lines of text. And then we get into our badges, our motivational tracking system. So these encourage the kiddos to read the book more than once because we all know repetition is key and science of reading is huge on repetition. So inside both the teacher and the parent bundles are these trackers. And I'm going to reshare my screen here so that we can see Ollie as a tracker. So they get a printable Ollie. He's huge. He's big. And then the badges match what is on the inside of the back cover of the book. So once they meet that goal, then they can cut and paste Ollie and kind of track how they're doing. And then when you purchase a set of books,
this is for each book.
Each book. You can do this with each book. It's optional. You don't have to do it.
Is it the same thing for each book or like different?
Yeah, for this level, they're the same goals.
Okay.
We'll revamp those in the next level. But I wanted to be really consistent in this. And then we have what I'm calling a set tracker, which is after each set. And a set is 3 books, and they cover the same vowel sound. So the first set is all short A sounds. And so once they've completed all of their goals, which are the same icons, then they get to put Ollie next to their goals. It's a small, tangible way to celebrate progress, not perfection.
Yeah, this is good too because for online lessons, you can give the book to the parents and like give the cutout sheets to the parents and be like, okay, like, you know, they can do this class, like they earned this class, you can have them do this. And for those students that need a little extra, and if you were having a trouble student, I don't mean trouble like they are trouble, but they had trouble sitting still, they had trouble doing stuff, you could even add your own rewards to it. Like, okay, like they're gonna get an Elsa wand, and then you just send over an image of an Elsa wand. Like you could do a lot with this. You could just send them over. Yeah, this is cool.
It can be completely customized to your situation, to your students, to your classroom. And if you're a teacher in a brick and mortar classroom, you can print as many of these as you need when you buy the 30 license package. So you send the books home, you send the tracker home in the homework folder or whatever your system is. The parents send it back. You can see that they read because they're filling out their Ollie. They're doing it. In the full parent bundle, there is also an 8-week reading calendar that goes through the entire series, the entire level 1 sets, introduces 2 books a week, gives parents different ideas on activities to do to reinforce those phonics skills, to switch things up. Go outside and read. Read to your dog. Read to your grandma, different things that they can do. Look in the mirror while you make the vowel sounds so that you can see what your mouth is doing when you make those. And it encourages parents to be silly and make reading time a joyful thing and not a chore.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to take over your life. Like everything, all those things could be done in just a couple of minutes every day.
Right.
So,
Right. And that is what we stress in the parent guide, is that even if you only have 5 minutes, you're showing your child that reading time is important and that their small successes are important.
yeah. Have you ever seen Hooked on Phonics? Have you ever
Oh,
actually
a
seen?
long time ago.
Oh,
I mean, when we
so
were kids, Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
yeah, my daughter does Hooked on Phonics. Because like when you said the kids that are behind, like that's my one daughter. She started school early. I like nowadays, little tangent here, but nowadays I feel like because everybody goes to pre-K, kindergarten doesn't start at kindergarten level anymore. It's kind of like almost like the end of kindergarten when they start it. Like they skip over because everybody learns everything in pre-K now,
Right.
My daughter didn't do pre-K. So because I wasn't gonna pay for it when I was working from home. So like why? So she didn't do pre-K, which meant and she started when she was 4 instead of 5 because of where her birthday lies. So and they cut nap time out of kindergarten. I
Mm-hmm.
don't I think that is unnecessary and cruel. But so anyway, she had a really hard time. They wanted to hold her back. And I said, absolutely not. Because like you're gonna hold her back in kindergarten. Like there's plenty other times, like let's make her work for it in first grade, and then we can talk about holding her back. Um, and she's done really good, but we also got her on something that's like this. Hooked on Phonics. The books look like this. The reward system is very similar to this. Um, and I mean, I know just from my experience that it does work. So I would say that this is a system that would be working too, because it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think really sets us apart from anything that you're going to find on Teachers Pay Teachers nowadays or anything like that is the storytelling that happens. Now, I showed you the first book, but I'm going to show you book 7 in the series now. So this is book 7. This would be set 3, book 1. And this is a new character popping up in the series, but it also brings back an old character in kind of a little humorous way. So this is Tom Got a Pot. Tom is a cat. Again, I promise there's dogs, there's other animals in this. I just happen to be showing you these. Again, these are not the first time. This is not the first time they're seeing all of these words. This would be the first time they're seeing some of the words to know that are decodable, like not and got. This will be the first introduction into that. But these are going to be words they've seen before. Tom is mirrored after my cat, who is also this color, but her name is Willow, and that's not decodable. So, so Tom gets this pot, and he does different things with it. He gets on the pot, he sits in it, but he's too big. So, oh no, he's too big. Ha ha, funny, funny, right? So he turns it over and he's like, okay, I got it. But then he hears, oh no, the pot got a bop. All completely decodable or heart words that have been introduced before. So now you're thinking, well, what's inside this pot? And so he gets off and you can kind of see the little feet there under the pot. And it turns out it's Pat the Rat from book 2.
Okay.
So it circles back. All of these characters most of these characters are in more than one book. So the children are going to recognize them. They're going to start to learn their names. They're going to become a little bit attached to what happens. And just kind of a side note, one of my students that I'm using this with, Alice, she is so mad at me because I have not written book 16 yet. She on the screen, I popped into class last Friday. On the screen, she writes 16. And I'm like, Alice, I told you it's going to be a long time before I finish these. I just finished she was reading them with me though as I was writing them. I was testing them with her.
Well, that's good. So she likes them.
Yeah, she really likes them. And then I have older students that have been more invested in the process than the actual books. They could read the books quickly and with ease. And then let's show the last one, Gus the pup. So Gus ends up being the pup of a character we introduce in the short I section, and he is just kind of a little troublemaker. Because what kid cannot relate to that? So Kit is the dad dog, Gus is the puppy. And this is Short U, which is book 13, which is the last set. So you're going to see more words, maybe one or two sentences instead of just one. All of the vowels are going to be represented in the book. So Gus runs away. Dad's shocked. Gus is in the mud because of course he is. What kid doesn't run towards mud when they see it?
Oh, poor Kit's got feral children just like me.
Yeah. Feral little Gus needs a bath though, and he's completely upset about having to go take a bath and wipe all the mud off of him. So now he's wet and he's miserable. So they lay in the sun and they're happy. But then guess what? Gus runs back to the mud and Dad is just disgusted. So you can kind of see how the emotions of the story itself, you can tell without the words. The pictures are going to be what draws the kids in.
I love that. So I'm looking at your site here. Hold on. I'm going to share that if you don't mind. Okay. Yeah. By the way, oh wait, hold on. You don't need to see my challenge. What am I doing? I'm about to share the challenge. Okay.
Future brain.
There is a discount code in the description box for anybody that wants 20% off. But I'm looking at these, and this is what you've got so far. So each of these you would be able to. This is not a subscription,
right? No, it's one time cost, okay. And you get 30 licenses with it.
Okay, yeah. So then if you needed more, you could always buy more licenses, right?
And then there is a limited number of Ollie plushes available if you
I saw that. That's why I was
Ollie plush.
That's why I was sharing this. It's so cool.
Yeah, so the bigger bundle, why it's a little bit more expensive, there's one that comes with Ollie.
That is so cool.
And gives you free shipping on Ollie.
That is so cool. Okay.
So, yeah, I have
is it
several hundred of these?
The bundles that you're getting, and nothing actually ships to you unless you're getting the Ollie, right?
Right. Everything's digital. As soon as you purchase it, you get on your confirmation of your payment being purchased, all of the downloads show up, and then you also get an email.
That is so cute though. I love that. Okay. And then there is something in here, single books.
Yeah, that's for if you just want a taste of what the readers look like.
Oh, okay. And then there's got to be home sets. Oh, yep. Okay. So this is where you wouldn't get. All right. So 3 decodable books and trackers.
Right. There's no additional licenses on the home books. Those are just for one family to use.
So level 1 home set 5. Oh, okay. So you'd want to start here with set 1, right?
Right. I should probably reorder that. I can do that. That doesn't make much sense. I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is really cool. This is really cool. And then let me see what
So
it looks like. Let's see if this is 5
the
sets,
big,
3
the big set for teachers comes with the 15 decodable books, which is the 5 sets of 3 printable booklets. You get the 15 digital downloads. You get the license to print a classroom set up to 30 students. Share one of those licenses with your kids at home if that's what you want to do, or encourage them to come in and buy a set so they get the grown-up guide and know how to use it. And even if they're Chinese speaking, we're just probably about 48 hours away from having that Chinese section of the website available with the Chinese instructions.
Oh, yes, I
Comes
see
with
this one. Comes with
all of the
Koala.
trackers, the reading calendar, the flashcards, which I haven't shown yet, but there are flashcards. And on each flashcard, it's noted which book the word is introduced in.
Okay.
And then the teacher companion, which is tips and tricks. How do I start? Where do I start? And then there's a full scope and sequence if you are one of those teachers who wants to plan everything out and what skills you're working on when. And that scope and sequence is geared directly towards level 1.
This is so cool. Is only level 1 gonna have the Ollies with them? If you wanna get the Ollie.
No. As long as I don't sell out of Ollies, because these came, it's kind of ironic, they came from China. So shipping was kind of expensive on them, and I may have to look
Yeah,
into,
because
we
you're
may
in
have to look into how to
America.
restock them at some point, but
You're in America, right?
yeah, I'm in Kansas.
Yeah, yeah. Shipping from China has gotten a little insane
And
here.
these were all ordered when we first launched Blue Sky Education. So
Ah.
things were a lot calmer then. But as far as world events, even though it was still 2021, but
Those are really cool. I love this whole thing. I love this whole thing. And it's really affordable too, especially like if you're looking for something, because you could do this, and for the full teacher bundle it was like $50, $55, right? I
I think
think.
so.
Okay. So for $55, you could pop this in and have a full set of reading material to add on to your classes, because this isn't going to take up a whole lesson. But also, you could also have it for homework and everything. It would last, how many lessons are there's
There's
15?
15 books, and the reading calendar, if you go by it, it's 2 books a week, because you want to make sure you get that repetition in there too. You don't just want to read it once and move on. You want to go back to it over and over again. So
So
15 books.
that would be, if you're doing two classes a week, that would still be like 15 weeks of lessons, a few weeks of reading, right? But
Yeah.
if you're doing once a week, it'd be 15. That, yeah. Okay.
Mhm. And I do also have some additional resources, ideas in the works that maybe we could build this up even a little bit more with finger puppets of the characters, or face masks of the characters,
Oh,
or
like little cutouts. Yeah.
yeah, so you can retell the stories pretending you have your little finger puppet, or your Sam the cat,
Oh,
and
like printable finger puppets where they
yeah,
just,
or you could put them on
oh, I love
you
it.
could put them on
Yeah.
your finger, or I don't have one right available, of course, or a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
Um,
All of my props are like ginormous.
yeah. So even if you just stuck Sam on a popsicle stick, or you've got Tom and the little rat, you can retell the story in your class. Those kinds of things are coming. Those won't take very long to generate and get up, because I already have all the artwork.
I did
But
that forever ago. When I first started my LLC, that was one of the things that I had on there were the printouts of the Palfish characters.
yeah.
Yeah, and we did that.
And those kinds of things resonate so well with our English language learners. It's something physical they can connect to. It's something physical you can send mom in a PDF file and say, hey, print these out.
Well, that
So
that you could have, okay, so say you've got like cat and rat, right? You
Mhm.
could play little games and have the ESL student tell the story, like cat
Yep.
sat on rat, rat
Yeah.
sat on cat. Like you could just like play around like that. That's really cool. I like that. I like
And
that.
then I have ideas to do more word family work games, to add those in. But I am only one person. I am the only one doing this. I'm still teaching full time. So it is going to be something that we build over time. I'm really hoping to have level 2 ready to go around September.
I was just brought this, so I have to show
Oh,
it.
look at you. That's the
This is a
thank you for
lot.
what you did this morning.
This is a lot. What did I do this morning? Oh, this is for my daughter.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe your husband brought it to you because you picked him up.
Oh, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. He has this, there was no AC. So that's what happened. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we were supposed to go live earlier, but I had to go to the shop to pick up my boyfriend. He drives a truck. He was in Indiana yesterday and the air conditioning went out on his truck. It's 104 degrees. Plus he's got the heat from the exhaust that, because he's got to have the windows open so the heat from the exhaust kind of funnels its way in there. So he's driving there. Can't wait to get home. On his way home, a tire blows. So then they blocked off the road and they had to wait for he had to wait for them after he got his tire fixed for them to unblock the road so he could go. Finally gets back. He has not slept at all because remember, it's 104 degrees and there's no AC. So he hasn't slept. I mean, he's been up since 8 o'clock yesterday morning. So he is out. I hope he's out. If he's not, I'm going to be mad at him.
Yeah, he needs to sleep.
But yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I can come get you. Got the doors off to the Jeep and just
Good driving.
but
Yeah, no,
I don't
that
drink
looks delicious.
I don't drink milk, but we're gonna
Maybe it's not, is it?
it's good. It's banana. It's a strawberry banana smoothie. It's delicious. This is huge. This is like enough for 3 people.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
so pretty.
Yes.
There's no way I can finish all of that. Hopefully the kids come home soon and I can pawn it off on them. But
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I'm hoping in September we're releasing level 2. So if you purchase now, you think, okay, I've got, anywhere between 8 and 15 weeks of work here. Level 2 should be ready by the time you're ready.
That's
move on
good.
to level 2.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you like whether you're going to do it with your own children or this would be a really good summer reading program too.
And
Even
that parent bundle comes with that reading calendar to do at home.
That would be a really, really, really good summer reading program to be able to do with your kids or with your students as an extra thing. So yeah. All right. And I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to ask about this. We showed it. We talked about the price. It's not a subscription, which is really nice. Nothing against them that have subscriptions. I mean, I have a subscription myself, but I know it's always nice when you don't have to worry about the recurring cost of something.
This is a system that we're not going to keep adding to indefinitely. It's a one-time purchase. You have the core materials right now.
Yes. Yes, that is amazing. All right. So I think we're going to wrap this up then. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot us a message. You can get this if you go, well, the link is in the description box, but it's Blue Sky Cooperative Education.
Yeah, if it's okay with you, I was going to put a follow-up post in the group with the code because I also have a code for the first, I think it's 30 parents you share this code with, they'll get 20% off too. It's a separate code. So, and then I think on yours, I believe it has a limit on your Jillian code. Okay, let me pull this up real quick so I can tell you the right information. And of course, I am one of those teachers and one of those people that has 1,000 windows. Does anybody else have that?
Me too. And I have multiple Chrome profiles for different things. I've got my personal, I've got my goat business, I've got my teaching business, I've got my coaching business. So I have all the tabs filled across on multiple
I mean,
Chrome browsers.
we've got multiple projects in the work right now, so I've got different browsers or different browser windows for each project. Anyway, okay, yes, your code is good for the first 50 people, or it will expire on July 10th. The parent code is for the first 50 parents, and it will also expire on July 10th. So,
Okay.
you got about 2
Okay.
weeks to
Awesome.
decide if this is something you're willing to invest in for your classrooms or your family, and then test it out. And if your kiddos love it in your classroom and their parents want to buy it, there's a code for that too. So yeah, if it's okay with you, I'll just put in a
Okay.
follow-up post with some of the graphics and the codes for everybody in case someone missed the live and
Yeah.
they're like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much for
coming
having me,
on.
Jillian.
And I can't wait to see your next lessons. And this might actually be something that I might do with my daughter. I'll tell you, it would be cheaper than Hooked on Phonics because Hooked on Phonics is $20 a month.
Yeah.
So
Right. I will, and hopefully maybe
it would, and we don't use the
and
app,
maybe when we get
so
level 2 rolling,
yeah.
we'll come back in and show it off too.
Perfect.
Okay.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you guys all later. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.